I haven't played Left 4 Dead 1 in little over 10 years. Maybe I should install it and see if it's still as good as I remember. After all, I did always prefer Left 4 Dead 1 over Left 4 Dead 2 in many ways, from its more dark and grim Batman tone to the campaigns themselves being more interesting to play through.
Okay. Back up.
Plus, there's no Keith stories, or bitter goo, or jockeys, or chargers either. Honestly, outside of the lack of weapons from what I remember, Left 4 Dead 1 was just the better game. So let's install the game and give it another go after a little over a decade to see if nostalgia is blinding me.
Oh, shit! They're coming! Run like hell!
The entire concept of Left 4 Dead is simple. You play as 4 survivors trying to get from the start of a level to the end, taking small alternative routes when possible, but otherwise is a linear style game with random events based on Valve's director system that will determine what appears in each playthrough for items, weapons, special infected, and of course, how many hordes will spawn in. It can be played alone with bots, local split screen on Xbox 360, or online with others. There's several modes too, such as campaign, versus, and survival, but I'll only be covering campaign and survival as I don't like playing with others and never liked versus anyways. The game controls like any standard first-person shooter on PC for the time. Everything is laid out quite well, with nothing feeling out of place by default. Since you're on PC, you can always change the key layout, but by default, everything is well placed.
Reloading!
But this is a Valve game, so don't go expecting iron sights. Those are illegal in Valve's headquarters for some reason, as even Counter-Strike Global Offensive didn't have them. And yes, I know it's Counter-Strike 2 now, but it's still the same game, just renamed.
I hate elevators. I hate helicopters. I hate hospitals, and doctors, and lawyers, and cops.
Francis, is there anything you don't hate?
You know what I don't hate? I don't hate this.
Instead, the right mouse button is your shove attack. Good for freeing people from hunters and smokers or clearing infected around you or another survivor, but that's about it. There's no sprinting either, so you can't exactly outrun the infected. It's basically Counter-Strike with zombies in terms of controls. Hell, the guns have the accuracy of Counter-Strike guns as well most of the time. Half the time your bullets never go where they should. Pistols being the worst offender, but enough, let's move on to the characters.
Watch it, Bill!
In Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, you always have a cast of 4 characters, and honestly, I prefer Left 4 Dead 1's cast. except for Lewis.
Weapons here!
I think I'm hurt bad.
Bill is my favorite, with Zoe in second. Francis is just kind of there, each with their own background and personality, except for Lewis.
Ow! Ow! Why you shooting me?
Bill, being an old Vietnam vet, using his experience and training to lead the others three through this nightmare.
Ain't seen anything like this before.
Jesus, don't let that stop you from smearing it all over yourself.
They're changing.
God damn it, Bill! Oh, it stinks!
Zoe is cool because she likes horror movies and has no problem taking charge later down the line. Plus, she and Bill have a father-daughter-like bond. She's also the only one who's the most kind to everyone. As for Francis, he's just a tough guy acting softy who hates everything but vests. But hey, at least he's not Lewis.
This is gonna get bad.
Ha! What a dumbass!
There's 6 campaigns in Left 4 Dead 1, though at launch, and for a while, it was only 4. Over time, Valve added 2 new campaigns that sadly Xbox 360 owners had to pay for, from what I remember, because Microsoft hated the idea of free DLC/updates. Surprise, surprise. The default 4 are No Mercy, Death Toll, Dead Air, and Blood Harvest. With the updates over time, we got Crash Course and The Sacrifice. Each campaign is connected in some way to the last, leading up to Bill, Zoe, and Francis, and sadly Lewis. Attempting to finally escape this outbreak. As for which campaign is the best, that's hard to decide upon as each one has its pros and cons, so I'll try to keep everything brief.
There's a hunter out there.
No Mercy is my favorite of the original 4 and overall 6. It's the perfect blend of just long enough with a nice selection of locations you'll go through, and I just like the tone it has. The nighttime rainy weather, the city full of infected, exploring rooftops, streets, subways, sewers, and finally a hospital. Seeing how the outbreak affected everything, walking through the failed quarantine at the hospital as he tried to contact a helicopter to escape the city.
Stand still, I'm gonna fix you.
Crash Course takes place right after No Mercy and is short. Plus it feels kind of rushed and lackluster. Just looking around, it doesn't have the details of the other 4 campaigns. It's just kind of there to connect the rest of the game. It's just okay, and I could live without it. Death Toll is mostly woods, tunnels, and small town. I'm not a huge fan of this campaign because of the lack of variety. At least the finale at the boathouse is okay. Of the original campaigns, I'd say Death Toll is ranked 3rd in best to worst. Dead Air is my second favorite because of its setting in the city, with a lot of death traps crossing rooftops before working our way through construction areas and getting to the airport. Who could forget the airplane scene?
I'm reloading.
Holy shit!
Thank you for flying Malaysian Airlines.
That is so disrespectful and therefore not funny.
Anyways, Blood Harvest is my least favorite till the finale. I just hate its more confusing design and how easy it is to get swarmed by hordes within the trees. It's not fun, and there's no variety, but the finale at the farmhouse makes up for it as it reminds me of the Night of the Living Dead. Just trying to survive as hordes of infected swarm all over the house. Every window and several walls can be broken, so there's no place to bunker down. By the end of the siege, and you escape, and the house will look like a war zone. Oh, and Lewis wants to heal me before we escape as non-stop hordes of infected descend upon us. Yeah, thanks for almost screwing us over, Lewis. Last campaign is the worst of all 6 because it's not well designed, nor is it fun. Plus, the more colorful environment feels out of place. The whole level screams Left 4 Dead 2 and not Left 4 Dead 1.
I ain't stopping a boat every 15 minutes to go look for gas.
But hey, it's funny watching useless Lewis die, so the campaign has one positive. In the end, you have to run around and start 3 generators with endless hordes along the way before getting to the bridge to only realize someone needs to sacrifice themselves to finish up the campaign. Now, since I don't play online with others, this isn't possible as the AI will stand there as you get swarmed and have to start all over again as non-stop tanks and infected swarm you. Nah, I'm good.
This sucks, man.
Overall, I'll rank each campaign from best to worst. No Mercy, Dead Air, Death Toll, Crash Course, Blood Harvest, and The Sacrifice. It's an okay batch of campaigns, but avoid The Sacrifice unless you play online or just hate yourself. Your goal is to get from the starting point of each level and find the safe house to the next. Levels are pretty short, well structured, except for a select few, so it's not that much of a chore to get through. Not even the sewer section of Death Toll was dreadful. So good job, Valve. I'm making a sewer section in a video game not be the worst thing imaginable. Too bad you failed that with Half-Life 1 and 2.
A bit uncalled for, but whatever.
Follow graffiti and lights to guide your path to salvation, but along the way, you will have to deal with infected, especially special infected, using various weapons to combat these obstacles. Oh, and for the love of God, watch out for the blinking car.
There's the station.
I blame Lewis. In order to reach your goal of escape, you'll need to arm yourselves with whatever you can find. Sadly, one con of Left 4 Dead 1 is the lack of weapons. All you have is your pistol, a second pistol for dual wielding, a pump action shotgun, and a submachine gun.
Ah, you know what? This sucks!
As you progress, you can find tier 2 weapons with a semi-auto shotgun, hunting rifle, and assault rifle. Then you got some throwables like Molotovs and pipe bombs with explosive canisters that can come in handy during the finale.
Hurry it up!
This is all you have, and yeah, I kind of don't like that, but also the weapons themselves are good. Minus the hunting rifle, it's literally useless. Only 10 rounds, making it worthless against you're dealing with special infected. So unless you deal with the special infected, there's no reason to use the hunting rifle. So you're going to rely on your pistol or pistols for most of the game when dealing with the normal infected. Not a good way to play.
Absolutely. Yep.
Especially since the guns don't feel that good after almost 20 years. Holy shit, it's been almost 20 years already?
How old are you?
Old.
Yeah.
Then again, even for its time, the gunplay wasn't anything great. Valve could never make good first-person shooter games where it counts.
Yeah, those games are pretty bad.
You're not just going to fight mindless hordes of infected. You will also encounter special infected, which are better than Left 4 Dead 2 ones. There's the smoker, who likes to be high up, or just far away enough to snatch survivors with its long tongue. Rule 34 artists are a little excited with that one, aren't they? Anyways, the hunter who stalks survivors till it can strike against the most vulnerable. The boomer who pukes boomer bile on you to spawn in a horde that will only target you. He also explodes when killed, so be careful when dealing with him.
Should heal up.
Then there's the childhood crush known as the witch, who cries like a woman in need of help, but it's a trap, as she hates being disturbed. If you trigger her, well, it's like pissing off a feminist on Twitter. The last special infected is the tank. The boss like infected, with tons of health and strength. He will ensure you never make it if he can get the chance. But once you get your tier 2 weapons, he kind of becomes a joke. The bots are a mixed bag. Valve has never made good AI in their games. Even Half-Life 1 has aged poorly with its AI that people once thought were so intelligent. Half-Life 2 was even worse, and Counter-Strike Source was a bit of a mixed bag as well. So here, your AI-controlled survivors will do the job, but not always be useful. As I learned the hard way when playing No Mercy during the finale, on the hospital rooftop, Useless Lewis was stuck. Clearly, his internet connection was straight out of Brazil. This in turn caused us to get overwhelmed, till only Zoe and I were left, and that's not enough to make it. Levels are very linear, with barely any alternative paths to take, though some levels can be a bit more confusing layout-wise, such as the Sacrifice, Crash Course, and Blood Harvest. Though the linearity should be a con, it's not, as the gameplay is fun. Plus, with the director watching you all the time, changing things up with spawns of supplies and infected every time you play, helps the game to have less repetition.
Grenade!
Though you can still explore various rooms and buildings throughout every level, sometimes rewarding you with pills, medkits, pipe bombs, molotovs, or a second pistol, or even a pile of ammo. Though it's not always a guarantee, and if you're inside a building, this leaves you more vulnerable to be cornered, especially by a special infected. So, do you explore for a chance to give yourself a better chance for whatever lies ahead? Or do you not risk it, and turn the hopes that the game director system won't decide to spawn in a witch in a tight spot so it's near impossible to get around her?
That witch is getting mad as hell! Stop! That witch is mad as
hell! So even though the levels can be a bit too corridor oriented, they're usually really short. Some so short it's less than 3 minutes to get to the next safe house. Remember to close the goddamn door.
SMG. Outstanding.
I'd say some levels are way worse than Left 4 Dead 2, such as the infamous Flood campaign, where you got witches everywhere during a severe storm and you slowly slog your way through. Dear God, I hated that level. Nothing feels like a slog in Left 4 Dead 1, however, as you just bum rush to the safe house, slaughtering hordes of infected with a conservative amount of firearms. The most time-consuming part of levels is usually the holdout sections, where you need to wait for a door to open or a lift to lower type of scenario.
Witcher out here. Kill that light.
Get ready, here they come!
During these, it's pure chaos, as you got to hold out for several minutes against a horde that never ends till the thing you're waiting for is done. Non-stop smokers, hunters, boomers, and infected just swarming you from all directions. If there's one thing Left 4 Dead teaches you early on, it's that there's no place that's safe. The infected can get you from anywhere. They will crawl out of every nook and cranny and climb over every little wall and railing. They will always get to you, whether you like it or not. When it comes to other modes, I'll be only covering survival, as I hate playing online with others. But I made a mistake on setting up survival mode, so I ended up online with others. You people, gross.
Holy shit, here they come!
So what is survival mode? It's Left 4 Dead's Nazi zombies mode, basically. Just survive endless waves of zombies till you eventually get overwhelmed. And pretty early on, we got swarmed by several smokers, hunters, and a tank. You can play various stages from each campaign, where they section off a level, so every campaign is represented. Honestly, I don't like this mode, it's just a tacked on experience. So we'll just move on. It's time to wrap things up.
It's all good.
At the end of the day, Left 4 Dead is a fine game still to this day and is well worth playing. Sure, it's lacking in content compared to Left 4 Dead 2, but that's more of a conservative approach that helps keep it more quality over quantity, as not everything about Left 4 Dead 2 was great.
What, are you retarded?
Maybe one day I'll cover that game, but for now, this project on Left 4 Dead 1 will have to do, as we approach the 400th review special. There's other stuff in the works besides this video will not get any views. All these reviews on so-called popular games always flop.
Explain yourself.
I learned that the hard way with Resident Evil, Dragon's Dogma, Dead Rising, The House of the Dead, Dynasty Warriors, Counter-Strike, WWE games, State of Decay 2, and of course we can't forget Call of Duty. So, it wouldn't be worth bothering to make another video that's a sequel to a failed video.
Makes sense.
So, for now, I'll let this one try to cook. We only got 5 more till we reach the 400 reviews. Not sure what the special will be yet, so we'll see when the time comes. Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.
Weapons here!
Every night I drive my skyline. I like it 'cause it's got a design. Looks good under the moonshine. I'm always looking for the gold mine. It's my kind and you got a big fine. Just get up so you get the whole nine. Zap is on the bottom line. Watch it, Bill! Get on the dance floor. Let's come